we go. Hello, day 20. It's got a very nice ring to it. I classify or identify as an HSP, a highly sensitive person. Especially auditory input for me is, it triggers me a lot. So, I've been having a really tough time with the kids. I know they're just kids, but they make a lot of noise. So I've been fantasizing of being in one of those saltwater immersion chambers where you just float and it's quiet. And I think, and then from there I went on to that probably floating through space would be a similar effect. So I'm going to use the black as black and see if I can do a nebula, things with some blended inks. I don't know, maybe I do, maybe I don't manage it. I've got some stamps, moon and a star, a sun and a moon. And then I think I'll do it a little bit maybe steampunky, I don't know. So I've got some stickers, and then this is the little flying thing. And then I also have some nice big gold planet stickers. So let's see if I can do what I use and what I don't use. And then my last stamp it says a message from the galaxy. So there's a little message in the bottle. So I think something like that. It's really just playing. I'm going to start with a clear gesso, and then I'm going to start seeing what I can do with some of the distress inks to blend and let them react a bit. And I'm pulling out some, I'm pulling out some colors along. I mean, it's my idea of space. When you see those NASA photos, they're always very beautiful colors and things. And then I've done an antique bronze, a brushed pewter, a tarnished brass, and I think I'll do some white, either just with like a toothbrush or something to go over it. I'm not sure how it's going to look, but I just want some dramatic, cloudy background. So I've gone over it with the heat gun, but what I did is where I heat gun is also where I emboss, and obviously I had little embossing flakes lying in the pan, which then got kicked up with the heat gun, landed on the page, and I ended up with sparkles and embossed bits, which I didn't intend, but can you see that little, that actually looks quite cool, so not too bad. I'm going to go over the page with white now. This is picket fence. I just want to do a check how it looks. I'm going to use this packaging foam just to see how the texture goes, so that it's sort of skyy, if I can say that. And then I've put a little bit of ink on the black, which you obviously can't see, but as you're going over it, so I just put some of the distress just wildly. But now as you put the white over, you start seeing these paints come with a dabber, but they've got a little sponge top. Well, this is a stain actually. I just want to see that I can get some different textures on the white, because I don't want a solid white, but I do want it looking different wherever I put it. So what I'll also do is I'll add some white, and then I'll also go through it with one of these stencil brushes. So it's really just to get a look. But there's a little bit of the green coming through now, which actually looks quite interesting. So I'm going to carry on with that. And then I'm going to put some of the purple and the orange on this side, so that comes through the white again. See, you can obviously not see the purple or the orange on the black. And then I'm giving it a spritz. I mean, I'm not saying this is a technique that exists, I'm just trying it, and then I'm going to do the white over it. So that gives you an idea. As you put the white, the purple bleeds through. So, nice. The page is quite wet, and then I've taken some of the the ink in the bottle with a little dropper and just dropped some colors over it, and I'm gonna heat gun it now so that the wind can blow it. So this is the initial white color behind, water, gold strip, and now I'm just going over lightly with the purple again. I like the purple on the black is just like a variation, and then in some places I purposefully heat the paints and things too much, so they made little bubbles, which is also further enhances my idea of galaxy. So I'm really just, it's just like adding some shades now. I must remember this freaking, what is it, antique bronze that I keep choosing is so yellow, and the gold would have probably been better. Okay, and then because I spritzed it with water and I used the packaging stuff, the textures are interesting. So okay, fine. Now I think I'm going to do a last spritz, and then we can start adding stuff. I want to do the sun and the moon. These are old stamps. Very rarely use them. You can see they're old. I think I'd need to emboss them. Are you surprised? I'll do the moon in silver and the sun in gold or a copper. I just don't know if I must put them near to each other. It seems like I should rather than opposite. They seem like they're friends. Do you want to guess what I did, or shall I tell you what I did? I stamped on wet paint and put the embossing powder over, so obviously the embossing powder stuck. So I ended up with a glob rather than a sun, but never mind. I then just stamped over the embossing powder with the stays on, so that also looks quite cool. And there's the silver moon, so they're there, but they're not like the only thing on the page, which I was afraid they would be, but actually having messed stuff up slightly. I didn't do the powder puff around, so I like that do you see tiny little bits like rays. I like this eye in the middle of this page. It seems to me like it's a balance. And then this is the little steampunk flying girl. She's quite tiny, so I'm going to tuck it in there with the star and the moon. She's very white, but I don't know if that's maybe in her favor that you see her. Otherwise I'll maybe just wax her afterwards. Now that I think about it, I actually want to do her like a kite. So I'm going to go flying, you know, but still tethered. So I'm going to give her a little goldy kite string. And then I've got this anchor, which I'd gotten a mermaid set as a free gift once. But I mean, I'm not so into mermaids. So I am going to change the color on the anchor. That the anchor is definitely anchoring her to the world. I had this piece of scrap paper I just inked in the same sort of green I used in the background. So it's like a earth that's green, but it also has stars. And then she's tethered with the very heavy anchor. I think I'm going to do something like Dreams Aren't in Lockdown, something like that. I don't mind that this page is bearish, but I do like the eye, and I don't know why I like the eye. Maybe because we're being watched, right? Maybe it's too much. Okay, I'm definitely going to add my planets. I've added all the planet stickers. They actually look so nice on this background. And then the little comet below the girl, and I've added with brave wings she flies. I do want to add something else on this. I am going to add a bit of stars, just like 5 or 6, just for a little bit of texture, because the page is quite flat. I'm going to use a translucent paste, and I'm going to put a bit of the gold in, just to give it, because the only texture is the embossing. These little texture paste stars actually added a whole lot to bring the page together. I've taken a charcoal and I wet it a bit, and I just, where I felt like it, drew some lines. And that actually adds quite a bit of definition, and then I went over a lot around the words. I'm going to use these tiny little stamps with the stays on. This white background, doesn't matter what I do, isn't dry, so it may smudge, it may not look great. But if it doesn't work, I'm sure I can actually hide it. I think I'll do it somewhere here. It's very faint, but I actually think that's enough. You can see it, and definitely it's framed between the two pieces of gold, but I'm pondering to put something around it with gold pen still, or whether that'll just be super obvious. I'm just putting the tiniest of frames around it, so where are we? Tiniest of little corner frames. You hardly see it, but you do see it. I think I'm going to call that done. I'm tempted to shimmer over the thing, or to add gold flecks or something, but I won't. I'll restrain myself on the gold and on the shine. The only thing I am pondering, last little bit of pondering, is whether I must just gold paste her wings. That was the tiniest bit of detail, but it actually, I like this page. You probably could have gotten away with it much easier. These, actually I don't want that so very copper. Just going over it with some ink to give it some. But I mean, these are tiny, tiny, tiny adjustments. Whether you do them or whether you don't do them, no one, I think, is going to notice. Again, it's just me being pedantic. Okay. That's day 20, a celestial theme. Fly me to the moon. Thanks for watching.